On this week's episode of Just Dandy, we need more pictures of Spider-Man.
Yes, we do. Edition of Spider-Man Comic-Con coverage.
Comic-Con was this past weekend, so
Yes.
There's a lot of shit happening. A lot of shit I'm very excited about. Lots of trailers, lots of fucking shit.
Yeah, big announcements.
Not many. Well,
I don't know.
there are a couple.
I didn't know the Skrulls were
That,
a part of the Marvel one.
I forgot that they shared the rights with Fox for those.
Only those, like not anything else.
Yeah, I think it's just that.
Because they fall under the
Fantastic Four brand, but I didn't know they shared the art. So I'm Andy,
and I'm Dan.
This is Just Andy.
Yeah, episode 3.
3, something like that.
Around there. Expect a very special episode soon. Some
We really-
guests on.
Yeah, we really don't know how. This is just kind of the numbers are arbitrary. This could be number.
It's 3 in your heart.
Yeah, number 1 in your heart, number 3 on your papers.
It's always the first episode.
But yeah, Captain Marvel set in the 90s. Nick Fury's gonna be in it. Gonna have 2 eyes. I'm assuming we're gonna figure out how he got the eye patch. And they introduced the Skrulls, which I shit my pants. I'm fucking excited for this movie because this comes sometime in Phase 4, I believe, because they announced that Captain Marvel won't be in Infinity Wars. So this really sets up the whole question: where the fuck is she? Because they're saying Captain Marvel is going to be the most powerful character in the MCU, no doubt, because she's going to fight an army of Skrulls and fucking win. But a lot of people are saying this is going to set up for Secret Invasion, which was a comic run that Marvel did. It was one of the events, Civil War or whatever. I think it was 2000.
Is it? They'll play poses.
They pose as I think it was the Skrull leader posed as Spider-Woman.
Super Skrull?
Yeah, I forget. It has a fucking name.
It has a real name. Oh, okay, I know in Marvel vs. Capcom he's just known as Super Skrull, and he has all the powers of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Well, they tried the Skrulls in. I think it was Fantastic Four too. No, that was.
No, they're not in any movies that I know of.
Oh, that was just some weird. They all touched the Silver Surfer's fucking board.
Oh, I don't even remember. I remember the first
Human
one.
Torch got all their power. It was weird. That was a fucking shitty.
I just remember the first one when they beat him because they all do one move at the same time. They beat Doom. The first.
Yeah, when they fight Doom.
Not the really bad one. The really bad one.
Oh, the new one? I didn't even see it.
First movie I booed in theaters.
I didn't even My dad was so excited for that because he's a huge fan of Fantastic Four, and he was like, "Let's go see it." I was like, "Dad, this movie's fucking god awful."
Trash.
And he was like, "Oh."
Trash.
And he got so sad. Just put it out with the rest of it. Put it out with Daredevil and Elektra and Halle Berry's Catwoman.
Ugh.
Batman and Robin. So this is completely off topic. I read an article at work today. All the Batman movies ranked. 1, Mask of the Phantasm was way too low. It was 5, but they had Batman and Robin at 14. Guess what was at 15?
The worst one.
Worst one.
The Batman Forever.
No.
Oh, the game's the worst one. Right?
No. These are just movies.
Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
As the worst one.
I
It's
was
definitely not the worst Batman movie out of all.
Not at all.
Because he kills people. Is that their gripe?
That was the first sentence. I was like, I'm like, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin were bad fucking movies.
Is Batman Forever the one that George Clooney with the bat nipples?
Yeah, Clooney's in.
Is it Forever? Or is it the Batman?
I think he's just in Batman and Robin.
Okay.
Yeah, because they fight Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, the time to
And
cheat.
Bane.
Yeah.
I mean, I really thought all the casting for those original movies were
What's
really
the
good.
one with Jim Carrey's Riddler?
I think it's Batman Forever. It's
Okay.
him. Tommy Lee Jones plays Two-Face.
I just know that because of the quote the AVGN. Batman Forever. It sucked then, and it sucks forever.
Because Danny DeVito's Penguin,
Yeah.
awesome.
I am not a human being.
I
am an animal.
Nicholson is the Joker. That first series really nailed the casting, but off topic. Um, yeah, so they're gonna like a bunch of the Skrulls pose as heroes on Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and the theory is that that's how they're gonna write people out. Like it's totally like not confirmed, or I don't know the
What the word would be? Speculation.
speculation. This is high speculation that that's how they're gonna write out
Like Chris
the
Evans.
Downey Juniors and the fucking Chris Evans of the world, and then like
So then during that, since I don't really know how I knew all I knew was that like the Skrulls were pretending to be them. Like where are the actual ones?
they kidnap everybody. I forget where they put them.
Oh, they
The
have
Skrulls
some-
like kidnap people, and they're like, "Oh, hey, like we kidnapped Spider-Man and replace him with a Skrull," and like nobody knows. And it was like there's something like Iron Man starts to like doubt everybody, and then like they have this big fight, and then they like beat him. I think. I forget, like, yeah. I mean, it was a good story, and like it was like a really cool concept because everybody was like, "Oh, hey, Infinity Wars Part 1 and 2, awesome. Okay, Infinity Wars, and then Untitled Avengers 4. What is Untitled Avengers 4? Because I'm not sure if
Is that the last one where everybody's together before
That's
they would
the-
have to make the moves to like?
before that is the end of Phase 3 because Spider-Man Homecoming starts Phase 4, and Spider-Man Homecoming 2. I apologize. Starts like 25 minutes like in the timeline after Avengers 4 ends. Like that's when the next Spider-Man movie starts. So
Have they said all that already?
yeah, I think that's what they said.
25 minutes afterwards.
Very shortly after like that Spider-Man movie starts. But speaking of Spider-Man, great fucking movie.
I loved it. I will acknowledge the one gripe that I've seen passed around was that it seems like none of his actions have consequences. Because the theme of Spider-Man usually is with great power comes great responsibility, and it seems like in this movie that's kind of like
He kind of just does shit.
he kind of does shit, and he kind of has no real negative
Nothing.
consequence on his life, more or less.
He gets the suit. Spoilers, by the way.
Well, this is spoiler heavy.
Yeah.
This is an in-depth review, not
Yeah.
this is not like a cherry picked over the top.
But
I
just-
will say before, if you want to skip through this, is that I love the movie.
It was good.
It might be my favorite Spider-Man movie. I'm torn between this and Spider-Man 2. I'd say the Doc Ock
I
one.
think it's Spider-Man 2 for me. That's just because it is just such a good fucking movie.
See, with me, it's like I hate 3 so much that
2 is just still one of the best superheroes. 2 is still in my top 5 superhero. I think it's in my top 3 superhero movies of all time.
I mean, my favorite superhero movies, the Dark Knight. I love that movie.
I mean, I really like Civil War, and I think it might be Spider-Man 2. Like that's.
I mean, that's fair. I'm not gonna argue the merits.
Oh no! Yeah, no. I'm just saying that's like it's like been one of my favorite. But like I said, this is like they're very close to one another in like.
I think it's a good start. I want to think more about him going forward.
I think it was like a really good way to set it. Like I think it.
I'm glad that they skipped
They skipped
the fucking origin. I've seen it enough. Uncle Ben didn't need to get killed for the 8th time. It seems like the 1000th time.
They didn't
on
need
screen.
to. He was already like they put him at a point where he was established enough that we didn't need to learn about how the fuck he did everything.
Yeah,
But
I mean that's what that brief introduction.
He still doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
He's inexperienced enough. You can see him learn.
But he's not just like, oh my god, I just got bit by a spider. It was like, oh hey, we know like you've been swinging around New York and shit doing some stuff.
Yeah, it's a friendly neighborhood. So.
In Civil War, it was like, oh hey, these are YouTube videos of you like going around. But I think Michael Keaton killed it. I think
he did a great job.
He's my favorite
he's probably
MCU villain. I think.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody that did that was memorable.
Loki.
Least.
That's.
I mean, he's the only one that like seems.
Loki, Thanos, hopefully will be.
Hopefully, but that's like time will tell. I'm trying to think who was the villain. I mean,
Red Skull is alright.
No, I mean Yondu wasn't even really a villain. Yeah, if you saw the second one.
I haven't seen it.
No, yeah, he's not really a villain anymore.
Doesn't he join the Guardians?
In the second one, yeah. And then he died.
Yeah,
Spoiler.
I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. so like he's not really a villain. I thought he was cool, but I mean he's not. The villain from the first one was just like the
Ronan was like alright. I mean,
it's fine. I like the ending a lot actually. Dance off. I love Chris Pratt.
I'm
That's
really
another story for another day.
I'm really hoping that Thanos doesn't go the way that Ultron went. Like in the trailers, he was like, "Holy shit, Ultron means fucking business," and then it was like, "Oh, he's actually a lot of comic relief." But then it was like, "Oh, hey, he's kind of like Tony Stark because like that's how he like started." So it kind of makes sense because Tony Stark's like a sarcastic asshole too. But he like killed it. I mean, I was super happy.
James Spader was Ultron. That's like
yes,
okay.
I think so.
I don't know.
But it was like it took it and it put it like, oh hey, the world's not ending, but it made it seem like it was a good way to start it out. It wasn't like, oh my god, this villain's gonna blow up New York. It's like, oh hey, he's just kind of stealing some shit. I like the supporting cast a lot.
I didn't like that it was a lot about the kids. Like they got a lot of like
screen time.
Not screen time, but like development for whatever reason.
Which kids?
Like the Asian kid.
Oh, Ned.
Is that his name?
Yeah, it's just like his best friend.
Is it?
He actually becomes the Hobgoblin in the comics, but I don't think they're gonna go that route. Because I think he's a little too chubby to be the Hobgoblin.
He'd also be really bad at it. He's not much better than that exact role he's in.
Yeah. Well, there's like when they like did the whole Miles Morales, he's got basically like a best friend that's basically Ned, like a chubby Asian kid. I think his name is Gonky or something. I forget what his name is. Gumby. His name's Gumby.
It's Gumby. Spoilers, Gumby's in the movie. Spoilers, big time.
Spoilers, Tony Stark is Gumby.
Tony Stark gives him a Gumby suit. And then the fat Asian kid becomes, what is his name,
Pokey.
The horse.
Becomes the horse.
It's weird. It's a weird after credit scene.
The suit at the end?
I'm pissed that I want him to get that fucking suit.
He wears it. That's another good segue. So Disney had their D23 2 weeks ago, which is like the big...
Is he wearing the nice suit in Infinity War?
Yes.
But not in Homecoming 2.
Not in Homecoming. I don't know about Homecoming 2. Infinity Wars, there is footage that people showed, and it was fucking off the hook. People said, like, Thanos blew up the moon and, like, threw it at everybody. And there are some scenes of, like, him, like, Spider-Man talking to Doctor Strange, and he's in the suit, and it's like, Captain America's got a beard and shit. That was like they released 3 posters, and you put them all together, and it's like all the Avengers and stuff. And like at one point, it's like in the trailer, it's like Thanos has Thor's head in his hand. He's like crush him, and like at some point, it's like Tony Stark just all like beaten down, and he gets like a new Hulkbuster armor. So that was my biggest thing with Marvel. They had a really good panel because the Captain Marvel news was cool. Black Panther was cool. Like, I'm very excited for Black Panther. The Thor Ragnarok trailer, super fucking good.
I want to see that one. I haven't seen any of the other. I think I see bits and pieces of the first Thor movie.
First Thor was good. Second one was like, it seemed like it was going to be funny in the trailers, and then had like more, or it seemed like it was going to be serious in the trailers, and had like a more of a joking tone. This one just seems like, oh hey, I'm getting like more of a Guardians of the Galaxy type.
Fine.
Like, this is going to be, like, kind of funny, but it's also, like, hey, this is, like, still an action movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they're doing, like, the Planet Hulk type thing. There was some shit with in the new trailer, like, when they're first, like, pulling up to Sakaar, like, that big tower.
Mm-hmm.
They got fucking, Beta Ray Bill, which is, like, Horse Thor.
Yeah, he picks up the, only one of, like, 4 people to pick up the hammer.
Man Thing, or not.
It's a Storm. It's Storm, Beta Ray Bill, Thor, and somebody else.
No. It's just like there's people on the thing, and it's like him, like I think Man Thing, and then Fin Fang Foom, and there's just like people were like, I mean they're gonna be in the movie because like that'd be fucking dope. Because like Fin Fang, he's like basically a big space dragon.
A dragon.
Yeah, he's a big space dragon. And, like
Fin Fang Foom's in what's her face? Marvel Ultimate Alliance game.
Yeah, and it's like fucking Horse Thor, who wouldn't want that? But yeah, I was expecting more Infinity War stuff from them, or I was expecting to at least see like
year?
a teaser. It is May of next year. So if I have to take a guess right now, they're gonna play it before episode 8. That's gonna be when the trailer starts circulating, like around Christmas time, like whenever episode 8 comes out, because it's like, oh, Star Wars, Disney, Marvel, Disney, cash, fucking cow. It's like,
This is a Han Solo film. This is still Disney related, I guess. That's next Christmas, like Christmas of 18.
yeah, they brought in Vader or the guy who played Vader in Rogue One. They signed him on.
Anything to do with Han Solo?
People are like, oh, he's like a 6'6" guy who's like been in prosthetics and makeup and stuff before. He could be playing like just a big alien or something, or he's Vader, which I'm hoping it's the first one, because I don't like if they would just shoehorn Darth Vader in, because that just kind of.
I don't understand how he would fit into. Because Han Solo pre-4 is just like a generic goon.
I don't know.
He's
like,
pretty much just going to be Space Indiana Jones, which is what I thought the character was anyway.
I don't know how they overlap. I don't know how old Han Solo is compared to Anakin.
Oh, he should be a lot younger.
He should be a lot younger. So it's like, I don't know how like established.
Because if you even think that in 4 he's at least 20 something, or in 3 I mean, when he gets burned alive.
Yeah.
So he's at least like in his 20s, you'd assume.
And then let's say like 20 years.
20, 25 years, but it doesn't look like Han Solo is much.
Let's say he's like 30 when Vader's like 50. Let's say he's like 20 years.
It seems like it has to be like that because
I think he's older than Luke.
In the bar scene, it seems like he's in his late 20s. And then in 4, he's either in his late 20s or early 30s. Because Luke's like either a late teen, early 20s. Yeah. In 4.
I think he's probably about 10 years older than Luke. This is probably like figured out.
I mean, this is also somewhere. This is all off the top of my head. Logically speaking, and like you think of the movie is.
Logically speaking, I hope Vader's not in the movie.
Yeah, unless it makes sense, because
I don't want it to make sense. Like, even if it makes sense,
I don't know how it would make sense. Is my point though, because it shouldn't ever be like work like that.
There's like, I think they should meet when they met in the original trilogy, and they should.
Then because it always it's tough territory when you make these movies beforehand. Because then, if let's say they do meet,
you have a certain continuity to stick to.
Yeah, so like let's say they do meet before in this Han Solo film.
Then
why would he not remember?
Yeah,
him.
Like when they meet.
It's the same thing. It's like why. It's weird that like, Vader made 3PO.
Didn't recognize him.
And it doesn't recognize him in the. Well, I mean, these movies were made first.
Yeah. But
like, they doesn't recognize him. Yeah.
I don't think they. Yeah.
Well, I understand why the droids don't recognize him because they have their minds wiped.
Yeah, I get that. They wipe them.
But it's just weird that he's not like the other way.
There's a lot of like weird.
I've analyzed the shit out of this for no reason. Just like that SpongeBob thing where it's like the camping episode and the idiot box episode where it was like, why is there a joke referring to the other episode that
yeah.
Yet? We talked about this a couple times.
Well, that's like that could have like that makes like that can be said. It's like, oh, it's a cartoon. They like might have been writing the episodes at the same time. This is like separated by years.
So was that?
Was it?
Oh yeah, we looked up. It was like 2 years difference.
Shit, really?
Yeah, it was incredible that like it was like I haven't seen that before anywhere too, which is weird.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, but that's a story for another episode.
Yeah, but Thor looks really cool. I'm assuming they're gonna wrap everything up for Infinity Wars and that, because it's that in November, Black Panther in February.
Is he in Infinity Wars?
Black Panther? Yes. But I think that's gonna be more of like a contained story. Okay. That's not gonna be like big fucking galaxy moving. Yeah, and then it's fucking Infinity Wars, I think.
So when's Justice League? Is that middle of next
Justice
year?
League is fucking November.
Of this year?
Yes, this fall.
Jesus Christ.
That was another.
That seems like that's really rushed along, but I guess not.
It's going through a ton. That's actually is really funny right now. So Snyder's.
Didn't they get rid of him pretty much?
Well, his daughter, I think, killed herself. Something like big family thing that he just didn't address and like kept filming the movie, and then finally he was like, "Yeah, fuck, I like gotta go like do family stuff. Like I can't do this." And they brought in Josh Whedon to take over, and they're going through a lot of reshoots right now. And Henry Cable, however you fuck you say, he's shooting Mission Impossible 6 right now. And his character in Mission Impossible 6 has a mustache. So
they need him to film all of Mission Impossible 6 before he shaves the mustache off?
They're spending money to CGI the mustache off. I think it's like $25 million to take the mustache out of all the scenes he's in. Which is fucking ridiculous, but like Paramount and Warner Brothers, or it's like, yeah, I think it's Paramount and Warner Brothers are like, fuck you, we need to reshoot Justice League, but they're like, fuck you, we're filming this now. You thought you were gonna be done by now. Like, he can't shave that. Like,
why couldn't he just take the mustache? Like, wouldn't it be easier to just put a decent looking fake mustache on rather than CGI the mustache off?
What do you mean?
Like, wouldn't it be easier to put it on his face
than take it off? I think it's just like some dispute that like his contract like said like, oh, you would be filming from this date to this date for this in this character. So I think there's just like contractual wise you like can't do.
I mean, they're just being like, they're like they're not working.
Yeah, but it's also just like that's fucking hilarious.
Oh, it's really funny.
They had a new trailer for that. Cool. They confirmed that there was Green Lanterns in the universe. They just didn't keep beating around the bush because like Steppenwolf comes, he's like, no lanterns here, no Kryptonian, and you're like, oh, what? No, everybody dead. And there's like some scenes of like fucking.
Wait, Superman's back? No, I'm kidding.
Superman's alive? He got dead.
Does he come back with the gray beard and the black suit?
I'm hoping. I'm really, if he doesn't, I'm going to be pissed.
I like the black and gray suit a lot, actually.
Because that was from, like, when he died in the comics, he came back with that, like, a fucking mullet and a beard, and he looked real fucking cool. But there was, like, the last scene in the trailer where it was like, oh, like, I hoped you were going to show up, like, I just hope it's not too, or he's like, oh, they were telling me you were going to show up, but, like, I hope it's not too late, and there was, like, emphasis on hope. And people were like, oh, that could be Supergirl, because, like, you could see the red cape, and it's just like, I hope he's not in the fucking normal suit, because I'm just going to be like, no, this isn't what I signed up for. But it's like, a couple people said Supergirl, and I was like, Martian Manhunter had a red cape, and I was like, Martian Manhunter had a blue cape.
He had a red inside. It's blue on the outside, red on the inside.
It was the outside. It's like, I'm a real big Martian Manhunter fan. I would like to see him. But, people are saying...
it would be Supergirl already. Seems like
there was like a lot of like talk and speculation that Man of Steel 2 was gonna have Brainiac and Supergirl
and Crypto.
That'd be cool too. Crypto the Superdog.
Remember that cartoon?
That was a pretty good show with the fucking cat. That was like the Flash's cat, Streaky, I think.
Yeah. I'm glad they have pets that also have
the like
same exact
Crypto powers. And then Ace the Bat Hound were like actually like canon, I think. They were like real.
Crypto is definitely real, but I don't remember much more of the show then. It's just weird that they have pets that also have
superpowers.
The exact same. No, not even just superpowers.
Laser vision.
But the exact same powers that they have.
I don't know if he actually had power. I know he could fly.
Crypto had all the powers. Yeah. He had all the powers of Superman. He was just all good stuff. But it's no comment. Is there an Aqua pet? Is he a fish?
Just every fucking fish.
Yeah, but Aquaman now is like Superman with all the Aquaman powers added on. So you would pretty much just want to pick Aquaman now, because like as an added, it's like you're Superman with the added bonus
of talking to fish,
the fish and the water powers. Yeah, so it's like
yeah, they were saying Aquaman and Flash really like gonna steal the show. Like they're gonna be really good. They said Cyborg's kind of meh. Everybody knows Wonder Woman's fucking dope already. That was a good movie.
I need to see it. I don't know. I don't know if I can buy into this hype. I keep seeing top 10 lists of superhero movies, and that's at like 3 or 4. And I'm gonna say I highly doubt it's that high.
I'll put it probably the best.
Oh, it's the best DC extended universe movie.
Yes. Kept the villain very well under wraps. I didn't like the ending. I thought the ending was kind of dumb. The finale action, like the third act action, wasn't as good as like the middle act when she like walks out into fucking no man's land and shit, and they like free a little town. But I thought that was like a lot better. Overall, it's like a really good movie. You know, I get that people are like, "Oh my god!" Like it was good. You know, I don't want to. I feel weird saying it's like, "Oh, it has its flaws," just because people are like, "What?" It's like the whole feminism aspect. So I was like, I really don't give a shit. I'm happy there's a fucking Wonder Woman movie. Like I think
we've hit this point where it's like now almost any character could possibly get a standalone film when you really wouldn't think it'd be possible. I guess.
Yeah, like I could see because
at least in the Marvel side, I don't know what's about the DC. They don't really right now. They're in like a tender place where they really need to. Wonder Woman was like a home run for them, and they need to make sure that they like stay.
If Justice League and Wonder Woman are both good, then I think they're pretty set.
Yeah, and then they can start taking more risks.
Because they have Aquaman's getting filmed. Shazam is the next one. The Flash movie, which is Flashpoint, which brings up a very so that was like I think also in like the mid 2000s. Like this was like I think when they did the New 52, this is how they did it. So Flash goes back in time to a different or like a different reality.
He just stopped the Reverse Flash from killing his parents.
Yeah, he like it saves his mom or something. Like everything's different. Like Batman is actually Thomas Wayne, and like Bruce gets killed, and then like Martha Wayne turns into the Joker, and everything's all real fucky. And then he comes back, and some stuff's different, but only he notices. So people are saying that anything that doesn't work, they could basically clean slate it with that. Like, everybody was like, oh, Ben Affleck wants out, and then at Comic-Con he's like, oh, no, I don't want out. But, like, everybody's still kind of like, he might want out. So if he really does want out, they could just kind of, boom, oh my god, Flashpoint, like, Bruce Wayne looks different. That's weird. You could explain it like that. I think that's silly. You know, I think they should go the whole, like, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney route of Batman and just switch it. Just go for it. Just like
don't acknowledge it.
That's like those are basically their two options right now. Because I think they're too far in to like reset the whole thing. But yeah, Shazam, Aquaman.
I really wanted the standalone Batfleck.
That's still tight. I think he is a 3-picture deal. So that would be, I think, the last film to happen if he does decide to leave.
Okay. I really like that one. He was directing it. I don't think he is anymore.
He is just basically acting. I believe he's just like stepped down from the whole producing, writing, directing. Which, if they do it right, there are a lot of good, like, nice detective stories that they could adapt. That would just be super fucking cool. You do like Long Halloween or like Hush or something where it's like a lot of villains you bring in and it'd just be super fucking cool and it really basically is already written. You just have to adapt it and put it on screen. Gotham City Sirens, which is like Harley Quinn, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy.
I'd be in for like Long Halloween.
Long Halloween would be super fucking cool. Like that is such a good fucking book. What else? Suicide Squad 2, which I'm kind of like, all right.
What is this?
It's like this
Suicide Squad 2?
Suicide Squad, the dose. It's like, all right, this.
God, fuck fat black lady.
Man, she was like, I was really like Amanda Waller and Deadshot were the only two I really like, and like Harley Quinn was fine, but like those are like the three like I forget what the name of the lady who plays Amanda Waller is, but she fucking killed it. She was like really good as her role.
I really wanted her to die in that thing. She caused all those problems.
Yes, I mean, no, she was just trying to cover her own ass. Like I said, like it could have been done a lot better. Like it was just a weird fucking movie. But what else? Margot Robbie. I think she's probably pretty much locked up for 2 or 3 more movies.
What's Jared Leto doing?
Who knows? I mean, in the right movie with the right screen time and the right director, I do think he could be really good.
I don't know if I like the direction of.
I'll take it. You know, it's different.
It's different, but I don't like that he's become generic goo, pretty much.
Yeah. Like I said, I think with more time in a
maybe that's what it is. Maybe it all is more screen time, and then it would be fine.
Like I think in like
the way that it was so far, he was pretty much just a generic mobster.
He was a mob boss that just happened to be the Joker.
That happened to just dress like the Joker almost. Yeah. Now that movie's weird. And there's a lot of like weird things that happen. Like, I don't know. The ending is one of those things where it's like, I guess that was really the only way they could end it.
It was just a.
I mean, because like they didn't really, none of them really had powers. So like, in reality, like I don't know what she would be thinking. Like Amanda Waller, like, oh no, we're gonna send the Suicide Squad in to like stop.
Throw fucking boomerangs at a god.
Oh no, we're gonna stop Justice League, and then or like whatever, and then Superman would come in and like just murder all.
That's like I think they needed to put that on like a smaller scale rather than like, oh my god, we have to save the world. It's like, oh, like this smaller thing happened, like contained. Like I forget where I heard this. It was like, oh, instead of you taking Enchantress and all these guys like a bunch of undead people, you say take the Joker, kidnaps Amanda Waller because he wants to get Harley Quinn back, and all the like weird zombie people are just normal goons, and it makes a lot more sense, and it's just a lot more down to earth, and you give like Joker more development, and it kind of means a little bit more.
I probably would be a lot better because she just seems too powerful for them to realistically beat.
Yeah, I don't think there's really no way. But Enchantress Justice League Dark got announced as a movie, which I'm very excited about because I always loved all that shit, like the whole fucking spooky supernatural, spoopy doopy side of DC Comics.
Oh, the Scooby-Doo crossover.
Scooby-Doo meets the Batman.
Beats the Batman. I would watch that.
I'd probably watch it.
They're both detectives.
Yeah, you know, I guess you really, yeah.
They are though.
They are though.
I feel like they have met. I feel like Hanna-Barbera and
back in the day, like
I feel like Adam West era, like but before Batman the Animated Series, but after the Adam West Batman.
When it was like Hanna-Barbera era. I do remember because like they have to blindfold them all to bring them to the Batcave. Like I vaguely remember the scene.
You might be right now that I think about it.
But it was like the old Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, it's Scooby-Doo. Where are you? Most likely.
Yeah.
Or just Scooby-Doo meets Batman.
I think it was like a one-off thing though.
Oh yeah. 2 episodes from the new Scooby-Doo movies. The Dynamic Scooby-Doo Affair and the Cape Crusader Caper, where Scooby-Doo and the gang team up with Batman and Robin to capture Joker and Penguin. So there you go.
So it happened.
I mean, they feel like it's like a natural.
It's a natural thing, especially because like
I mean, as long as it's like a kids cartoon, not like the Scooby-Doo live-action movies with Freddie Prinze Jr. I like the
first one was pretty good.
Like okay.
For what it was, for like a CGI dog, you know, I can't complain. But
I mean, that's the only way they could do it.
Yeah, it would just been weird with like a real dog because it's just like.
It wouldn't even do. Why would like the talking would look like Marmaduke. Movie sucked. I don't know why I saw that.
Didn't Owen Wilson play Marmaduke?
He wasn't Marmaduke. He was the owner.
He was the owner.
Yeah.
Wow.
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 Marmaduke. Wow. Jesus Christ.
They also
I paid to see that movie.
What?
Marmaduke.
You paid to see Marmaduke?
Well, it's like a drive-in in like New Jersey somewhere. And it's like $6-ish. It's 2 movies for $6.
What was the other movie?
What was the other movie?
Better than Marmaduke?
I don't know if it was or not now. I can't remember what it was. And I'm not sure if Marmaduke was just so, like, it makes me laugh thinking about it.
But it was so bad you, like, literally just forgot what
I couldn't tell you one thing that happened in Marmaduke besides he ties into the table at the restaurant and then he, like,
runs out with the
runs
table.
at the table. Yeah, like, you know, I'm like, okay. Marmaduke. It wasn't Marley and Me though. I almost think it was like 2 dog movies. But
Marley and Me and like Marmaduke have very different tones.
Yeah, but they don't ever have to go together because usually it's like the kids movies first,
and then the adult movie.
and then like because the adult movie wouldn't start usually to like because it has to be dark.
Yeah.
So like the first movie would like 8, and then the movie would end like 10:30, and then it would transfer. And the other movie would end to like 1.
Yeah, so you're like the kids are asleep or
Yeah.
they're like home or some shit.
So like, I want to say though it was like whatever Ice Age movie was at the time, maybe.
All right.
But I mean, it might have been. I don't think so though. I also saw that there. That we saw Hop and the other one the one time. That movie's really bad.
The fuck is Hop?
Russell Brand is a fucking CGI rabbit, and he's like the Easter Bunny's son or something.
That's fucking weird.
And he moves in with the. Oh my god, was that bad? That was wow. That was bad. I've seen a lot of bad movies. There's just some that are like
worse than others.
It's not even worse than others, but like you could be so bad, but it's so bad it's kind of funny a little bit. And then there's some that like you just get no value out of. Like Food Fight is the perfect example of like it is so bad. Like it is awful. Like Hop's not as bad as Food Fight.
Yeah.
But like Food Fight's so bad, and it's also not even that funny.
It's not that bad funny. It's just,
it's just really fucking
movie.
bad. Like I really wish I had my like 2 hours back. Like it was bad. Like that Food Fight was awful. Hop was like I'd never watch it again.
But it's like I watched it. Okay, I could get on with the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's not where I wouldn't recommend it. It's the worst premise. I barely remember it. I barely
remember it enough though.
I just happen to remember it was Russell Brand when he was dating Katy Perry. And I also think it was like when they were getting divorced. I just saw this movie and I was like, this is like last push for like cash grab.
He fucked that one up.
Ooh. Screwed the pooch.
Screwed the pooch. And then stopped screwing the pooch.
Pretty much. I don't even know what happened to him.
I think he was an alcoholic. I have no idea.
After the fucking, he's in the other one. Get him to the Greek.
That was a pretty good movie.
He's in that, isn't he? The Greek.
Yeah, it's him and Jonah Hill.
This has really gotten away
from Jonah Hill.
Oh, funny Jonah Hill, good.
Well, I think skinny Jonah Hill is still pretty funny.
What is he in that? Would you say that? I loved him in War Dogs. I thought he was pretty funny. He's fat.
Well, that was back when he was.
No, that's new. Got fat again.
He got fat again.
Oh, he got re-fat, and he was re-funny. Re-upped. He re-upped.
I thought he was pretty funny in Wolf of Wall Street.
I haven't seen that, so I can't comment.
He was alright. I mean, he wasn't that skinny. He was still pretty big. I don't know. I don't know what the fucking last movie I saw that he was in was.
And he was thin? That's all.
He was thin.
I noticed that if you're a fat comedian and you get thin, your funniness goes with your fatness for some reason.
Give me an example. Not Jonah Hill, though.
He's one off the top of my head. Who else was not? There was somebody else that's like noticeable. Fuck. So I said it, I was like, oh my god, he's not funny anymore. What happened to him?
He lost his funk.
He has to gain his weight back. That's his only way. Fuck.
Imagine that it's how it is like for some people like
physical
appearance is
part of the gimmick.
Or it's like that's how you're like.
I mean, it helps. I would say like for him because a lot of his stuff is like
he's cast as that character.
guy, but he also does stuff where it's like he'll say something and then he'll react, like overreact. Like I know it's acting; it's like part of it, like his comedy.
But he'll overreact.
But it's funnier because he like looks like the way he does. So then when he like looks like a normal guy, it, like loses.
You're like, oh, you're just some normal dude doing some weird shit. But it's like when you're a chubby dude doing some weird shit.
Funny. I don't know. If I think of one, he's the one that really stands out to me. Like I don't. Josh Peck's not funny anymore. That's the perfect. He got less funny as the series went on.
He did as skinnier as he got, because they got him. They turned him from like the weird brother to like, all right, you're a little bit competent. As like
it wasn't as funny anymore either.
He didn't.
He didn't invite him to his wedding.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It was Megan's fault. Through the invite, yeah.
Fucked up.
The crazy. Did Jerry Trainer get invited? Shut up.
The fuck is he doing now? I think he's still on the show on Nick at like 45 years old.
I think so. Is he 45?
He's pretty fucking old.
That sucks. He's funny too. He's like funny in a weird way. Like I feel like if given the right show, like the right environment, like he could really like.
I thought his character on iCarly was super fucking funny.
I was talking about the one earlier where they built the golf course in the apartment.
Yeah.
And then he comes in and it's like, if you putt it that way, yes. Please enjoy the course. I love that one. I laugh at that one all the time. I think of that a couple times. Every time I see the mini golf course, I think of that.
There was one he like came out of the elevator with the ostrich.
The ostrich.
And they're like, "What is that?" And he's like, "The smoothie."
Yeah.
And it's just like, what the fuck? Like I thought
he was funny in that. He was funny in I mean, Crazy Steve's like a character that like it's like a
Crazy Steve was like a funny he was like a good one-off, like not like one-off is like he was in a one-off character, but like he would have like a one-off joke per episode and be like, that's funny.
Pretty much. He had the one with where the power went out and he was over and he yelled at him to crank the fucking hand crank TV.
What do we got? When it's like they're watching the cartoon.
They're watching Dora.
He's yelling,
so the map's right there!
It's not Tim and Eric.
No, it's Dora the Explorer.
No. Who are the fucking nerds' names? It's not Tim and
Oh,
Eric.
it's not Tim and Eric. Don't get me started on Tim and Eric.
Tim and Craig?
It's Eric and Craig.
Eric and Craig.
Yeah.
I always think they're Tim and Eric. I'm like, they're not Tim and Eric.
No.
I was just like, oh, it's just a coincidence that they have the same name, but it's like, nah, that's not it.
They did not have an awesome show. It was not a great job. Great job. It's a fucking weird show. That's not doing anything either. There's a lot of comedians in that. I know in the show, when I started rewatching it, it was like Jeff Goldblum's in an episode. John C. Reilly, Will Ferrell in the movie. At least in the movie, I don't know about Jeff Goldblum. Maybe in the movie, John C. Reilly, Will Ferrell.
Yeah, there was a good amount of people in the movie though.
Fucking $1 billion movie.
And then they fucking spend all the money on like.
I love that he steals the son in the movie. I laugh every fucking time when he gets in there. Oh, you had that boy back there? Forget that little baby boy. You see that boy? Have you ever seen it? Oh, okay. He's like, oh, I'm going to take this boy for myself. You are my boy. You're better than a shiny new toy. Because you are my boy. I love that. And he's like, come on down to my new mall. Fucking new son Jeffrey's here. You think you're going to come down to my mall? My dad says it's the best fucking mall ever. You don't know more than my dad. Don't fucking come then.
Don't fucking come. I forget like when they're having like a season 6, like I think it's like a 1-hour special or something.
They're doing the fucking live thing. I think we might have missed it though.
Did we?
Oh no, maybe not.
I'd want to go. Yeah.
It might be in August. I'd still go.
But yeah, Comic-Con.
Yeah, we really speed off the dusty trail here.
We always.
That was well beyond. Somehow we got a Marmaduke references, and I apologize solely for that.
But I was trying to think even. Justice League Dark gonna be cool.
Is X-Men done?
X-Men is filming Dark Phoenix right now. They had nothing at Comic-Con though. They are
so there is more movies.
They are currently filming Dark Phoenix right now, and they are filming New Mutants. They got 2 going right now, plus Deadpool, plus a possible. Well, this is not.
Just hearsay.
Fucking who owns them?
Fox.
Fox. Is it Fox?
Yeah. Fox is the X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Oh, it doesn't. Doctor Doom solo movie is in talks. Don't know how that would work.
Sounds awful, especially if it's anything. The fucking even the Doom that they didn't even go with. The fact that was even an idea that made it far enough to be like even attempted to be filmed. The Fantastic Four that just came out.
He's basically fucking Hacker Man.
He's literally like a fucking angry blogger with the power of something, with the power of fucking trolling.
The power of friendship.
Pretty much.
But that's, I mean, you know, if they do it right, could be okay.
I just wish they would fucking Marvel could like get the villains back, like the better villains. Not that one villain's inherently better than the other one, but there's just certain villains that carry like a way of like you need the Avengers to stop.
It's like Doctor Doom is like a huge fucking villain.
Like he's really, really fucking important in the grand scheme of everything. And it's just a shame they don't have him. And he also has like Magneto too, is another one
that would just, as much as I would love to see like the X-Men and the Avengers right now,
I think there's too many X-Men to like jive in that movie. Would be out of hand quick.
It would be hard to bring it all together unless you kind of use like a weird Doctor Strange like alternate multiverse. Oh, they were on a different Earth and now we brought them here. That would be the only way to.
No, I'm not saying like the X-Men they have now. Like if the movie stopped and they got the rights back and they like redid everything.
Yeah, like I said, it would just be hard to do because there would just be so many people.
But it also gets to a point where you have to write so many characters, and that would definitely get harder to like script writing, filming wise, action wise. You have to kind of divide everything up more. You know what I mean?
Like I don't know how they're gonna go moving forward after Infinity Wars because like just because
it's already kind of a full house, if you will, but
it's gonna cost $1 billion because they're filming the Avengers 4 like now. Like they just finished Infinity War. I guess they just finished shooting. They're not like I don't know if they have to do like reshoot, but I think it's in post production right now.
Oh, what? Let me ask your opinion. If you're like Robert Downey Jr., you're Chris Evans, you're Chris Hemsworth, any of those guys, why, in your opinion, what would your reasons be to leave? I guess what seems to be I would say like a cash cow opportunity where you're pretty much just gonna, as long as the movies are at least passable now, you would rake in. You're not gonna win awards. I can understand that side of it, I guess, but it's not like it's the only movies you have to do.
Robert Downey Jr. did say something like someone asked him a similar question about this.
He said he didn't want to do it until it was embarrassing.
Well, until it was embarrassing. I agree with that. I do think there comes a time and a place where.
Well, enough's enough, but I feel like it's like not now though.
I do think it's gonna be after Infinity Wars. There is gonna be some sort of passing of the torch. For a character like Thor, it's very easy to write him off and just be like, "Oh, see you guys. I'm going to Asgard. If you need me, fucking."
No, I understand him, but
like same thing with like Stark. It could just be like, "Hey guys, if you need me." And, like, you know, he comes in, like, a Spider-Man Homecoming. He's in it for maybe 20, 25 minutes of the movie, if that.
Mm-hmm.
They come in like that, and they can come back for... You don't, like, kill them. I
mean, the only one I think that will get killed is Chris Evans.
I think Captain America's going to die in Infinity Wars. Or one of them. But I think with characters like Thor and, like, Iron Man, you can just kind of write them out for a little while, and then just bring them back and just be like, hey, you could go do stuff, but like, if you like, we pitched, Spider-Man 3, like, would you want to be in it for like a couple scenes or something? It'd be cool, like, it would make sense with the story. And it's like, oh yeah, totally, that'd be like super fucking cool to do.
Mm-hmm. But that's not, I'm talking about more so like,
I think it does just get to a point where it is just,
you're doing the same thing.
Like, enough is enough. Like,
boring.
At some point, and I believe it'll be some point within the next 10 years, superhero movies are going to drop off. As the Western went, superhero movies are going to go too.
Oh, I mean, I agree, because now it's ridiculous how many there are. It always seems like whatever X big movie is the superhero movie.
Well, it's like a lot of people.
I'm not saying that like Robert Downey Jr. for instance should
Oh no, I would love to see
ride the wave of it out and not do anything else. I'm not sitting here like, don't take any other roles.
But it's like I love him as Iron Man.
No, yeah,
like
he's the one that I think is like the most irreplaceable. And it concerns me that he seems like he's the one that is most willing to walk away. It seems like.
Yeah. Well, there's a point we were talking when we were at Wahoo's last night. Brendan's cousin hadn't seen, like, he's like, oh yeah, it's like I haven't seen any of the superhero movies, and at this point, I don't know how to catch up.
There's some you can skip.
I'm doing it. I saw it on Twitter or something. If you start them January 1st, 2018, and watch one a week, you will be up in time for Infinity Wars. Like, you will have seen all of them.
I might fill in the gaps. Like, I really want to see Doctor Strange. I haven't yet.
Good movie. It's on Netflix too. That's
it's on Netflix now. Yeah, so I was gonna probably take a peek at that eventually.
But I think I'm gonna do that and just start from the beginning and just fucking. Because like I haven't. There's been a couple that I've rewatched, and it's like Civil War.
I liked Ant-Man. That has something to do with this.
Ant-Man, I think I watched that twice.
I like that one. I liked
maybe Winter Soldier, maybe Avengers, but like I really haven't watched any of them more than once. So it's like I'm gonna go back in.
I liked the Hulk movie, but then it was weird when it was Mark Ruffalo. But
I got past that. I like Edward Norton, but it's like
no, I only got past it because I don't think they're gonna make.
I don't think. I think Hulk's always just gonna be a very strong supporting character, and like Ragnarok's gonna show that I think he works better as a supporting character than he does for his own.
That's what I figure it's going to be.
So.
Forget all your Hulk villains. No Abomination, no Red Hulk.
Yeah, they said Abomination was fucking out. Like, that guy was like, hey, they haven't fucking talked to me, but I'd be super cool. Like, they'd be super cool to come back.
Oh, was he in that? I don't even remember that Edward Norton one that much.
Yeah, Abomination was.
Was he the villain?
Yeah. Red Hulk could be. Thunderbolt Ross is still very much in and around. Civil War, so they could somehow finagle some shit like that. But yeah, I think these actors do know when enough is enough, and I do think there comes a time where there is going to be a transition of power between
either going to have to like, I don't know if I like a Power Ranger style where like Billy was the only one, and when they all
it's just switched. Yeah, you get like 5 new people, but it's like
I don't know if I would rather it be a clean sweep where everybody was different and just younger, or like gradually like Robert Downey Jr. leaves and it's whoever, and then somebody else leaves and it's whoever.
Like I think Infinity Wars is going to set the tone for how the rest of which as it should. I think that's going to set the tone for the rest of
the MCU.
Oh, also, fucking Ant-Man and Wasp got a couple. They,
the Wasp is the girl, right? Like, they don't go save.
It's,
the actual Wasp?
Well, they, cast Michelle Pfeiffer as the original Wasp. Not Lawrence Fishburne. Is it Lawrence Fishburne? I think Lawrence Fishburne is, Goliath. Like another guy who grows and shrinks and shit. They cast some other dude as an undisclosed role, I think. But that was like the big 3 things they did for Marvel. I don't know when the fuck that comes out though. I think that's 2019 too. Ant-Man and Wasp. I think that's end of 2019, and then I guess Avengers 4 is 2020. That's also fucking like, what the? I'm looking forward to like the new Godzilla movie comes out in 2019, and I'm like, I can't wait. Like, I am so excited.
You'll be an adult by then.
Yeah, I'll be a fucking adult. And then, like, King Kong vs. Godzilla is, like, 2020.
Can't wait for King Kong vs. Godzilla, and then it's like, they don't fight. It's like, they play a game.
They play a game of chess. A man's game.
Something, like, non-physical at all. Nice game of shuffleboard.
I do have to say, it's like they are, like, the Godzilla King of the Monsters, which is, like, he's gonna fight like Rodan and Mothra and King
Is
Ghidorah.
that the thing where it's like on Antarctica they find?
Yeah, they're finding like they're teasing a lot of shit, and the movie is 2 years out, and I'm like, stop. It's like I would rather you just not say anything. Because I keep seeing this stuff, I'm like, this is dope.
Are they using the same Godzilla from the Bryan Cranston one?
Yeah. So this is a sequel to that.
Oh, okay, it's actually a sequel. I don't know how that did, like, relative.
Well enough, good enough for a sequel. I thought it was good. I mean, I've probably seen all the Godzilla movies. Like, that was my shit as a kid.
One was really dark.
Yeah, it needed to be a little lighter.
No, like not even tonal, like physically.
No, yeah, physically
dark.
The
screen is dark.
I have a lot of. That was another one of my big things with Suicide Squad. Like, and like Justin, it's like they're too dark. Like, movies shouldn't be that dark that I have to like try and figure out what the fuck is I'm looking at.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that's like,
Godzilla was noticeably bad when we were watching it, and we were watching on TV that had the auto dimming. And oh my god, it would like do that thing where it's like the thing is off.
And there's like,
and it would like, oh my god, it's ridiculous. You would be in the city, he's like stomping around, and you're like, what is that him? Like you're like looking at, I can see I'm looking at my reflection in the screen.
I do have to say, like when they jumped out of the plane, and that was like the flares, and then you see it, like that was a really great fucking cinematic
That's a
shot.
Cool, yeah.
But like, yeah, when it's like that last battle, when like all the light is like explosions and shit, it's just hard to watch. It's hard to follow. Like,
I thought that was the lighting suspect. I did like the effect of like, oh shit, with the flare and like there he is.
But like, you can like, there's a difference between like an oh shit moment and like
the whole movie. Yeah.
Oh shit, we're gonna keep this lighting the whole time.
It was rooting for a rude awakening. I was like, oh, I mean, I was like, how do you like the movie? He's like, I would let you know if I could see it.
If I could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm expecting good things from this second one. Like, I'm expecting like a very.
I mean, I like the model. I like the.
It's like a fucking 3v1. Fucking shit fit.
Where's Mecha Godzilla?
I don't know. Like, that's my like. I don't know where they're gonna. I don't think they're going that way for like the tone of the movies. They're going for more of like a just giant ass shit that still's alive on Earth. More so, hey, we need to
like more like
it.
Pacific Rim 2, but rather than
that got a trailer too.
Is Charlie Day back as scientist?
I hope so. They have fucking John Boyega, fucking Finn. He's Idris Elba's character's son. And they had a trailer, and they had some of the new Jaegers look cool as fuck. I'm very excited. I think that's next year.
That's sooner or later, as they'd say.
Like I said, there's like the next couple of years for movies.
Oh yeah, if you're like in that comic realm thing, you should be excited.
This is it.
At the prospect. This is it. It's really only going to go downhill, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah.
Sooner or later. So I would enjoy it while it lasts.
But this is, I could say that it was just like, and I don't like, I do feel weird saying this, that I would like to tell myself that I liked all this shit before it was cool. Because, like, my dad collected comics since he was a kid. And well, that's kind of what, like, I grew up with. And I was just like, it's cool to, like, finally see all this shit. And I'm like, this is fucking nuts. And it's like we got out of Spider-Man, and I was like sitting there, and we like got out, and I was just talking to my friends. I was like, oh, they like have Scorpion, they're like Prowler, and they could do all this stuff, and they like bring these people in. They're like, you need to like slow your fucking roll. And I'm like,
where's the Sinister Six movie, dude?
Still might be in the works.
What are they gonna do? Like
Sony? Well, they're doing a Black Cat Silver Sable movie in addition to Venom. And the funny part about that is, I mean, I think it's called like Silver and Black. They have the Scorpion in that is apparently going to be one of like the villains, but the Scorpion's also going to be a villain in Spider-Man 2, like Homecoming 2. Mm-hmm. So I'm just kind of like,
It's going to be the same thing as Quicksilver and whatever.
Quicksilver, yeah. They're the same
and
character.
Scarlet Witch, yeah. And
well, like Evan Peters Quicksilver and the Quicksilver who fucking died in Age of Ultron, they're the same person. They're just not the same person.
Is it the same actor?
No, but they play the same character.
Isn't Scarlet Witch the same character in both movies?
I don't think Scarlet Witch is in the X-Men. I think it's just Quicksilver.
Yeah. I thought one or two of them was in the. Oh no, that's what it is. They had to get they bartered for the rights for both of them.
Yeah.
But they're like, you can't mention Magneto.
They're not Magneto's children.
You can't mention him, by name.
But it's like that's how they were like, oh, we experimented on these kids and they got these fucking powers. So it's like, which I think they did that fine, but they do the Quicksilver in the X-Men movies and the Quicksilver.
That's what it's gonna be like though, Scorpion, because they gotta keep them separate. I guess they don't want Sony's grubby hands on the.
Well, that's honestly.
It sucks that they were in shambles at that point. They had to sell all the rights off, and they spun that bitch around. Where's my Ghost Rider film? Bring the Cage back.
I don't know who the fuck even owns that.
Marvel got reverted back.
He's on the TV show. He's on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Too.
Ghost Rider.
Is he?
The new guy. Well, not Johnny. I think it's Robbie Reyes. Yeah. He looks pretty good for a fucking NBC
TV
show. Does he turn
into the
ABC?
Ghost Rider?
Yeah. He looks pretty fucking cool.
No, I wasn't sure if it was like one of those things where it's like, it's like a thing if you're in the know, you would know. It's like,
but no, he turns into.
Oh, he actually turns into the Ghost Rider.
It's fucking cool.
It's not Johnny Blaze.
No, he's like the new guy. Yeah. But yeah, it just does suck that Sony does have these rights, and I'm not.
At least they're more willing to work with them versus.
Yeah, Fox is kind of like fuck off.
Well, Fox just made that Fantastic Four movie so that their rights wouldn't go back.
Yeah, I think that was
literally it. Because if you didn't make a movie within, it was like 5 years of the last one, then the rights would revert back, and then they just let Ghost Rider go. And I think Punisher was the other one. They let him go back.
I do think it depends on how Venom and this Silver and Black movie do. Because it really does suck that such Venom's such an integral part of Spider-Man's universe that there's now two separate universes where they're existing without each other.
Isn't Venom one a part of the MCU and it's debatable? Wasn't it the one guy said
it was Amy Pascal, I think is the Sony lady. I could be wrong, but she was like, "Oh yeah, it is," and then Kevin Feige was like, "No, it's not." Or Kevin Feige, I don't know how you pronounce it. Yeah. He was like, "Oh no, it's not," and she was like, "Yeah, it is," and then she was, "Okay, no, it's not." There are two separate things, and Spider-Man won't be in it, and they won't have Venom. That's as of right now. Like I said, that could all change.
It's a shame that I can't get fucking Spider-Man v Venom v Carnage in a film.
Yeah, if I could get a decent Venom v Carnage, I'll be happy. But it would be really cool if they did, this Venom movie happens, and then they just kind of share the rights to be oh hey, you could use these characters in a Spider-Man movie. You pay us a chunk of it, but we own the the same thing they do with Spider-Man. We own the rights to the character, but you have creative,
you can just use it.
Creative judgment on doing what you want. Because I don't know why more people wouldn't do. I don't know why Fox wouldn't want Marvel to take Fantastic Four. Just give us a cut of the fucking money. You guys can.
I guess at this point, I'd be let them fucking keep wasting money making Fantastic Four movies. I mean, Marvel did the fucking ultimate thing. They took all of the fucking ended the comics. They took all the merch away from the Disney things. It almost don't exist. They're retroactively gone from the Disney
Well, it's even some of the comics that I think they don't have their new legacy thing. I don't think they have a Fantastic Four comic.
No, yeah, they totally are fucking completely erasing their existence for the time being.
Which fucking sucks
it sucks because they're important.
I liked Fantastic Four. but
they're important, but I could see why their goal was, I guess, to completely smother it to the point where they'll have to give it up.
Or they have to go to Marvel and just be like, hey,
yeah,
we'll sell you that, like, you can use the
buy it back or whatever. Yeah. So like, I mean, it's a decent strategy. I guess they can do it with them because they're not as big of a character as like they can't do it with the X-Men because they're just like Wolverine by himself would be
popular.
fucking impossible for them to completely like smother.
Well, they also have probably like 5 or 6 different runs of like X-Men comics at least. That's like probably lowballing.
I mean, it's one of their like that's like one of their big.
Like Fantastic Four used to be one of their big things.
Yeah, but then they like ruined it. But they've had good X-Men movies too. They haven't laid eggs.
Had decent X-Men movies.
Well, like I know the other
good
ones.
Enough.
Yeah, not Fantastic Four catastrophe level bad. You figure I heard Days of Future Past was good.
It was good. That was probably my favorite of the newer movies.
Yeah, so I haven't seen any of the ones past X3.
They're decent. They're good. I mean,
I've seen the Wolverine ones only because I don't really like. I don't know. They got out of
first Wolverine, like
the Origins. That's the only one I haven't seen. I saw the one where
you don't need to.
I saw the ones. No, once I heard they shit on like they ruined Deadpool was awful. I didn't want to watch it. I knew to learn my lesson after Spider-Man 3, where I thought they ruined Venom. I didn't even want to touch that movie
ever again.
Not even that. I didn't even want to touch the Wolverine movie or hero with the Deadpool thing. They sewed his mouth shut. I said, and I'm done.
And
I don't even need to see it. As I said, you're gonna take the most memorable part of him. His entire character is mainly the quips, more or less, and then you're just not like you're neutering his like one of his.
You neutered him. You neutered Deadpool
for no reason. He shouldn't have been in the movie. You just made. I would have preferred a fake character.
Yeah.
Doesn't he fucking the swords come out?
The swords come out of his arms. He can teleport. Like he really isn't Deadpool.
The swords come out like Wolverine's claws, don't they?
Out of his fucking arms.
Oh, it's awful. That sounds bad.
Like I said, he's only Deadpool by name. I think his name is Wade Wilson.
By name?
By name. He's really not Deadpool by...
Anything else? Any other discernible way? That movie's really good. That might be that's one of my favorite ones.
Deadpool? I like Deadpool. There's apparently... The second one's apparently funnier. That's why Josh Brolin... Is it Josh Brolin? Signed on for Cable. Like, that's the reason he read the script and was like, this is better than the first one, so...
Well, I mean, the first one's really funny, and it's like a labor of love by Ryan Reynolds, because you can tell that they really didn't have budget, because it's like they didn't really want to make the movie, like Fox, and it like obviously turned a huge profit.
Yeah,
I love the movie. It's like a movie with a lot of heart in it. You could tell that
you could tell that they care. Yeah.
So...
He wasn't just doing it for the money. He was doing it because he really loved the character.
He's like he's another one that he really
very expertly cast.
Yeah.
There's like a couple like him, Downey Jr. Fucking.
What's her face looks like? I think Gal Gadot looks like Wonder Woman. I
What
can't comment on her acting.
What the fuck is Wolverine's real name?
Oh, fucking Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
I love Hugh Jackman.
He Patrick Stewart. There's like a couple people that
are
very spot on. Tom Holland's pretty good as a young Spider-Man, but that's kind of about
ones that are perfectly
really.
See, I don't even know if I had to cast a Batman, like a new Batman right now, who I would really pick, because it's I'm not even a big fan of Christian Bale as I think Christian Bale's a good actor in general.
I didn't love him as Batman.
I didn't know, but I'm not talking about as Batman. I'm talking about in general.
Oh yeah, he's a good actor.
He's a good actor in general. I think with Batman, it's a combination of Christopher Nolan's script, the action, and the films themselves are just so good that I don't even love him as Batman.
But you still love him as Batman.
I think he might be default because they're the best movies. The three of them together are probably better than most of the other ones.
I like Ben Affleck a lot. I really hope he does stay.
I want to see the solo one for my final judgment, and the small pieces that he was in Dawn of Justice, I did like him. He surprised me, I'll say.
Well, it's everybody's Batman doesn't kill people. It's like he's just a pissed old Batman
That's the one
who's
it is.
seen some shit. He's
Because
like
that happens in the comics where he does kill people like, and it's later.
he gets like the older he gets, normally the more violent he gets.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, people could be like. People were like, oh, he was shooting people with the machine guns, like on the Batmobile, and other people like he was shooting them with rubber bullets, and it's like nobody's ever gonna know the real answer to this. Yeah, he was just pissed. Yeah, he was just angry. He's just like an angry old fucking man.
I can't stand for the Dawn of Justice. Martha?
That was
It's so ridiculous.
like someone got paid way too much money to come up with that idea, and then someone, I guess it was Snyder, just fucked up. Was like, this is a good idea. We're gonna add this. And it was like,
is it true? I know it's Martha Wayne.
Yeah.
Is that just like the fucking somebody who's like, I got it?
Yeah, someone
They happen to just
basically had a eureka moment, and it's like, this is how we're gonna do it.
Like, why would that fucking? It's ridiculous. Why would fucking first of all Superman be calling his own mom, like Batman's mom, for him to stop?
Well, no, he was like,
you gotta save my own mother.
Yeah,
and it's like
said,
why do you know my mom's name? I don't know.
Like, that's his mom's name.
I don't know. You ever been at Martha's Vineyard?
Martha's Vineyard, yo.
So he's like, fucking movies. It's a lot of like. Zack Snyder was not the one to hand the reins to. Your entire fucking film universe. He's too dark. He's too dark of a director.
Like I said, my biggest shit from like that movie is still probably Lex Luthor, because it's just like, how did he know Batman was Batman? Like, what the? Like none
he knew
of this
all of them. He knew all the identities.
How? Like, I would have rather them like add the extended, like take this shit out about the other stuff in the extended cut. How the fuck did he figure that out? Like, that's my only thing.
He knew all of it. Everybody was on his payroll.
That's the thing. I don't know fucking how. Like, I literally cannot fathom how the fuck he figured it out.
He figured out everything. Yeah, I don't know. He's like the only one. He even knew that Darkseid.
Darkseid?
Yeah, Darkseid was coming.
I'm hoping that if they do pull this like Flashpoint stuff for the Flash, they replace Jesse Eisenberg. I just don't like him.
And they replace him with Michael Cera, dude, and no one would know. No one would.
I just want like an older Lex Luthor.
You want the guy from Smallville, so do I.
Not even him. Like even like kind of more so up that alley, or like Superman Returns, or like even like the old Superman movies, like someone like that who was like smart.
I love Christopher Reeve. Superman's great.
And like just like not crazy, but just smart, powerful. Like I just really didn't like it. He seemed more crazy.
Superman 2 is great.
Superman 2 is a great fucking movie. Those all the 4 of them.
Yeah,
they're real good.
I love Superman 2 with Zod Gang.
Yeah, and they fucking
I love he puts him in the window pane and it flies through space. It's like a great effect. That's what it is. He throws the fucking S in him. Is that the same movie?
I think so. He throws the S at
the
one.
fucking like fucking it's like the saran wrap S symbol. He's like it's like all that shit is like weird.
They were so fucking ridiculous.
He was good. He looked like Superman. Like I think like they cast people that actually look like the characters at the very least most of the time. But I mean, their personalities are like the.
Yeah, I don't like. I mean, Cavill plays him fine. I think he should.
I think it's the problem is that I think it's Snyder's fault because like I think he's a grittier.
He needs to just be more Boy Scouty and like helpful.
No, I'm talking about like Snyder's like general script tone is. Like,
yeah, he's like a very like
dark person, and it doesn't really lend itself to some of the movies that. Since he's like in charge of all of the universe.
Well, I think they're phasing him out.
Well, yeah, he's done now. They got rid of him because they pretty much realized that it was
not happening.
Not a good idea to have one guy run your entire fucking thing, really. So it's like even Star Wars, it's not the same guy. It's not J.J. Abrams for all 3.
I think it's a different director for each one.
Every one is a different person, yeah.
Just fine. I mean,
it can be good and bad. I have to see how 8 is.
That's what else. Like next time they have a trailer for it, I'm thinking September. They'll put out like the real trailer for 8 and start showing some shit.
Are they gonna have where it's like, it's that alarm that went off for all of the Rogue One trailer?
Yeah. I'm just hoping Episode 8 doesn't follow how...
I hope, if Episode 8 is just a reboot of Episode 5
I'm gonna
again.
be pissed. I
don't know if I'm gonna be pissed. That would be really good. That sounds good. 5 is the best one.
But, no. They need to do something, because that's what fucking 7 was.
Well, 7 is 4.
7 was a rehash of 4.
7 is literally 4.
And
Don't get me started. We've gone over this a billion times.
I liked it, but I was like,
I liked it, but
different.
then I thought about it, and I was like, it always happens with any of these movies where, I'm really excited about it. I go and see it, and then I, analyze it,
and I'm like, wait.
At a level so fucking above where it should be analyzed at. And then I'm like, wait a second. Oh my god, that was just 4 again.
It was like, wait, I just watched a fucking episode 4 in 2017.
I was like, wait a minute, it's episode 4. Obi-Wan's Han, and Rey's pretty much Luke, and then that's it. And then Yoda is Luke now.
Yeah, Yoda's gonna be Luke now.
Yeah. So, I'm like, wait a minute, this is
I just want to see Luke go fucking bananas on people.
I don't even know. I'm curious to see where they go. I hope that it's not 5 again. But if it's 5 again,
my biggest thing is I hope that Kylo and Rey aren't sisters, brother and sister.
They're not. I don't think. Well, why wouldn't fucking Leia know her daughter?
Say something. I don't know. Like I said, there's some weird fucky shit that they could do with this movie, and it just got weird. There's also the
I hope he leaves his mask on.
The fucking TV show on Disney, Rebels.
That's canon.
That's canon.
But I think that takes place really long time ago. So
between 4 and 5.
Yeah, but this is so far ahead though. Luke's 80 now.
But they were kids between 4 and 5.
I understand that, but I'm saying I doubt that they the only one I could have ever seen happening was if they did a Clone Wars movie. Ahsoka would be the one that would transcend the shows, I think, to put in the film.
I don't know if she dies though.
I don't know. I know she fights. Anakin.
She fights Vader, and it's a really sad scene.
I can't tell you. I've never seen this cartoon.
It's pretty good. Clone Wars is a great show.
It's just I don't know, what they'll do.
That's I'm curious if they're gonna put any. I feel like I'm gonna have to watch it before. Because
if I see a trailer, and they're in it, then I guess I will have to
go back.
But I don't know, some of the other Star Wars. I like some of the characters from the prequel. They look cool, and I wish they were built
cool
upon
characters. Yeah, Jar Jar Binks.
It's my favorite one. He's a Misa
Sith Lord.
He was. He passed a historic vote. It was all his fault that he gave all the power to the Chancellor. Made him emperor. It's great.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He's a senator. Who fucking
Binks.
voted for him? I'd love to see that fucking
Electoral college.
It's not even that. It's it was ridiculous. I demand a recount. That's what it is.
Who fucking elects a Gungan? He's not even racist. He just can't talk.
Nice. Is it Gungans elect them? They came out of the water, right? After that.
Yeah, but they lived on the booze. I don't know if they had a vote.
Yeah, they voted for him, right?
I don't know if they were real people though. I don't know if it was kind of 3/5 compromise sort of thing. They count for.
Yeah, but
less than
I think they
person.
after that war they were friendly.
Yeah, because they were hey, we gotta
droids, and then
we gotta band together.
He's the fucking he's doing a bad Richard Nixon impression. He's I resign. That's just it's literally Boss Nass was fucking Richard Nixon, and then Jar Jar Binks was a Jamaican stereotype for some reason. That whole movie's just full of racist stereotypes, because all the fucking the fucking people in the ship right at the beginning are a bad Japanese stereotype.
Man, episode 1 was fucking weird.
It's fucking weird. It's trading laws and shit. It's not even the worst one, which is weird. I easily think 2 is the worst one.
2's pretty bad.
2's so bad I don't remember anything that happens.
I remember the end where they're in the stadium, and then...
Yeah, and then it ends when Yoda fights Dooku for a second.
Well, no, Dooku fucks up, Anakin cuts his hand off, and then Yoda fights him.
Yeah.
Misa think He's going to be a good movie.
Kill the younglings, you will.
Good, Anakin. Good. Now kill him.
Kill him. Kill him now. Do it. That's in the third one. I don't even mind the third one. I think
third one's fine. I think the third one's a pretty good movie.
I like the third one. I like Grievous. That was one of the characters I was saying I liked from the old one. I like Darth Maul if they didn't kill him instantly.
Like I said, Clone Wars, they bring him back.
Didn't we talk about how that wasn't you? We talked before how I said I would have not even had Dooku exist.
Yeah, you just brought Maul.
I would just had Maul up until the same beheading scene.
It would have worked better. It would have been more.
Makes more sense rather than introduce 3 villains in 3 movies.
And
there's actually 4 villains in 3 movies.
And have
really.
2 of them not do anything really. Like Grievous and Maul didn't do a ton.
Grievous had that cool scene where they ride the lizard around the pit.
But it really wasn't.
He didn't really do anything on screen to establish him. You would just know that he was doing stuff somewhere else.
Yeah.
He was doing shit off screen, if you will.
I understand when you bring in Darth Maul in Episode 1, it's like, oh hey, he's got a double lightsaber. He's a bad motherfucker.
Well, that's what it is. It's that, and it was always like, you've never seen my kind before. He only had 10 spoken lines and dead.
And I was like, yeah, Dooku. They were just like, oh hey, he does.
Oh no, it's another guy. Here he is, and
here he is.
He did have a special lightsaber, barely though. It was curved.
It's fucking what?
It's very subtle. I didn't even notice it until years later. And I think I saw it at a store, the
and
Marvel.
You're like, wait, what?
It's who had that one? I was like, oh, that's right. He's in that half movie he was in. I barely remember too, outside of Jango Fett.
And that just Coliseum scene at the end.
Yeah, and then it's the fucking Boba Fett's there, young Boba.
Young Boba.
The fucking awful haircut. Doesn't he have the fucking mullet? Or he's bowl cut.
He's got a weird fucking haircut.
Yeah. Dies him. Dope. Is that canon? Where he's not dead? Boba's not dead?
He fucking got eaten by the Sarlacc pit.
I think it's canon. He's not dead. The books are, because I think they
Some of the books are canon.
Yeah, I think that one is where he gets out of the pit. Because that's really awful. That's how he dies.
Yeah, because he wasn't in a lot of movies.
He was in 2 of them.
He was in the end of 5.
He just really wanted Han Solo's dead body. It was no disintegrations.
Han Solo.
Han Solo. It's Jabba. Jabba's son.
The Hutlings.
Yeah, Hutlings. Fucking elephant. What's the elephant's name? Zebo?
Zebo.
We were talking about this earlier. Let's see if you can name it. It was there was something about obscure characters. You can name everybody in the fucking one gang. I don't remember what it is now. Can you name any of the aliens in the fucking Mos Eisley Cantina band?
I know what they look like.
I know they all look the same. They all look like the stereotypical gray alien, but they have they're tan or pinkish flesh color.
And they got a weird mouth.
Yeah, they have fish mouths, and they just play the same song.
Yeah, I have no idea what they're fucking called. Is it do they even tell you?
I don't know. But they never say the names of half the guys. That guy in the bar when Luke comes in and it's like, hey there, my friend here, he doesn't like you. He's wanted in over 20-something. He's warrant out for his arrest in over 20 galaxies. They know that guy's name. Both those guys' names have, they have, of course that's a credit. It's your or in order of appearance. And
it's you're talking. That's fine. Okay, you get your name on the thing. So it's you gotta have a name that's not man at bar who talks to Luke. So
yeah, friend who's wanted in over 20 wherever
galaxies.
In 20, he's my friend here. He doesn't like you. That's it.
Wanted over 20 galaxies.
Okay, I think it's
all right.
Sorry, it's not like this. He doesn't want any part of him. I can't believe Han didn't shoot first. Greedo shot first, and Han terribly slit his neck.
Fucking just fucked Greedo up.
That is the most egregious edit. That is the most egregious special effect. But when we're talking about it, that head slide is it looks bad. It doesn't even if you want to put that in there, I don't agree with it.
But it's it does. If you're gonna put it in there, make it
look good. It looks bad. First of all, it looks awful. Second of all, Han Solo is supposed to be oh, he was like a bad guy. Like he's not like a straight like, you know what I mean? Like he's not going in there. Why would he be like a saint, if you will?
Yeah.
He obviously knew he was doing some shady dealings.
It's like he's not afraid to kill anybody. I don't think.
Yeah, that's the fucking point. He would just shoot him. That's what that's the Han Solo you would want. That's the Han Solo I hope you get in
You just fuck
in
him
the
up.
Solo film, because like I don't understand that like aspect of him. Like he's a smuggler. He's doing crime. He's doing crime. He's committing. He's like a fucking. He's doing crime.
He's doing a criminal.
Yeah, he's being a criminal. It's not like he's like this fucking like good Samaritan. Like, oh no, he's not gonna shoot him first. He has dignity. He's gonna
like, no, he's gonna shoot him first.
He's gonna shoot him first. He would have killed him immediately.
And that's fine.
And no terrible CG Job of the Hutt. We'll tell him.
We'll save that. Yeah.
Can't believe that was there either. That's also really weird.
I thought he was a puppet in the first movies.
He is.
And then
they CG'd him in to the fourth movie. He's not in the fourth one.
Oh yeah, they put him in.
In that one scene where he's like in the Millennium Falcon, it's like something weird. I don't even remember the scene. I remember all of like I know a lot of the scenes they added in. I don't think I've ever seen the movie with the scenes in, because I only watch it from. I have like the trilogy box set on VHS of all things.
Yeah.
That's usually where I watch it from. So, like, I know they added in that Jabba scene. They added in that Han Solo head slide scene, which just looks awful. That's, like, the most egregious one. And I think they added in, like, a Zebo scene in 6. Where, like, they have, like, he's, like, a musical number.
Yeah.
Which is, like, totally
weird,
unnecessary. Yeah. It's also they don't fit, because if they're going to add shit in, they have to do the practical effects. Because, like...
It just looks weird because you.
It's jarring when it's not even close to like what it looks like.
You put a CGI in a movie from the 70s that used puppets.
Yeah. Oh well. I can't wait for the special edition of this episode where I just go back and redub it with
the special, then the extended edition of
the
this,
extended cut.
You get to see what we missed in the middle that we cut off and didn't give to you guys.
Yeah, it's perfect. There was lead in the microphone, so I couldn't see it.
Oh, it has camo on it, so we can't really see where it is. So
yeah,
but that's a good place to fucking.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about all we had. We really went everywhere. You got a Marmaduke reference. You got
Comic-Con. You got other shit.
Yeah, Star Wars. That all falls under
Space Wars.
Space Battles.
Space Battles.
Yeah.
Spaceballs 2, maybe.
No.
I think that's in like...
Rick Moranis doesn't act anymore. After his wife, I think, passed. I'm pretty sure he's not in anything.
It's the quest for more money, though.
No, he literally is like, he'll only come out for like the perfect role. And I'm pretty sure the only role that he would have came out for was, I don't know his name, but Ghostbusters 3. Because he was in the first 2.
Yeah.
So, like, and now that, he's dead, Egon's dead, the movie will never get made, and especially after the Force.
I think they're making a sequel.
Oh, stop!
I don't know. That's another day.
Oh, stop it!
We can save that.
We're done. We're down more. I'm done now. That's about it anyway. That movie is just.
I still whatever. No,
that's not. No. And on a happy note.
You're raising my blood pressure.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot.
All right. Goodbye, friends.
Bye, everybody.
See you next time.
See you next time.